If you are a fan of Formula 1, you might have heard commentators and pundits use the term DRS train. In this video, we will explain what is a DRS train and how it can impact a Formula 1 Grand Prix. Let's get started. DRS is short for Drag Reduction System, which is a movable flap on the rear wing of an F1 car. Opening the flap reduces aerodynamic drag, making it easier for a car to accelerate. When it is enabled, the flap in the rear wing of the car opens. This reduces drag and gives the pursuing car an overtaking advantage over the car in front. Cars using DRS can gain a speed increase of up to 20 km per hour. A DRS train is formed in Formula 1 when a group of drivers get stuck behind one another, all of whom are using DRS. We saw a classic example of a DRS train in the 2022 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. The train involved 3 drivers: Williams driver Alex Albon, AlphaTauri driver Pierre Gasly, and 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. Albon was what is referred to as the head of the train, and Hamilton was at the back of the train. Theoretically, Hamilton had a much better car than Gasly or Albon, as demonstrated by the pace of his teammate George Russell. So knowing this, let's understand why the DRS train prevented Hamilton from overtaking Gasly and Albon. Typically, there are only 3 or 4 spots on any circuit where overtakes can be performed. This is because of a concept called dirty air, which impacts drivers in the corners. The overtaking spots are typically at the end of long straights where DRS can be enabled. Using the DRS advantage, a driver performs the overtake before he reaches the corner and takes the corner ahead of the driver in front. In the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, Hamilton faced 2 problems. First, DRS was not enabled for a large portion of the race due to the weather conditions. Second, when DRS was enabled, he was unfortunately positioned at the back of the DRS train. Pierre Gasly always positioned his car within 1 second of Alex Albon and was able to use DRS on the straights, but could not overtake him by the corner. Hamilton always positioned himself within 1 second of Gasly, but since Gasly had DRS, Hamilton's gains on DRS were negated and he could not get close enough to Gasly to overtake on the corner. Unfortunately for Hamilton, this pattern continued for the majority of the race and he finished the race behind Gasly. A DRS train can be broken by taking a pit stop. If Hamilton had taken a pit stop and was able to perform faster laps in free air, he would have come out ahead of Albon and Gasly when they took their pit stop. The design of the car and setup also play an important factor. Some cars have much better performance in free air than when in traffic. For example, last year we saw Mercedes driver Valtteri Bottas found it difficult to overtake his way up the grid, but when he was ahead in free air, he was able to do a much better pace. Hope this video helped you learn about how a DRS train works. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video and consider subscribing to the channel for more great Formula 1 content.